go into the jungle, you flash farm up quickly, you come out with this 12-13 minute mech, and then you can actually push and deathball, taking out tier 1, tier 2 towers. Because you also have damage that comes along with that. The Viper is kind of like, well, we Viper Strike, then the movement speed slow isn't really going to be enough when you're going up against ballers, a huge amount of strength from this Ven, with the bonus movement speed that he grants. You can't guarantee yourself a kill because you're going up against the Dazzle. I just find this hero really, really passive. And now OG, they just put No-Tell in the lane. They're like, okay, we're going to put this Broodmother against the Viper and see how he does. Run an aggro tri-lane with this Ven up here. Crit will be the support Tusker. The Observer Ward vision is already going in favor of OG because they de-warded the dire Observer Ward, which was watching the lane, and Vlo is forced to run this safe lane Night Stalker. While the bottom lane, it's going to be a Spirit Breaker support with a Gyrocopter, and they're going to keep as much pressure on this Beastmaster as possible. Charge in, Rocket Barrage as much as you can. In saying that, Sun leveled up Black Cannon to start with, so maybe they're going to wait for the level 2 on Aloha Dance before they try and make a play.
So the Sentry Ward thing is so big mid, because that's the last Sentry that Empire had, and there is a Sentry sitting on No-Tail, so if he manages to get rid of it, if he manages to drop his and tango the enemy Sentry, suddenly the lane's alright again for him. While the Sentry's up, I think Resolution is going to have a good time though.
No-Tail hasn't gotten onto the fact that it's there yet.
Because Resolution can just be comfortable going for all the last hits, knows when he might get swarmed, can harass if he wants to harass. He's going for that harassment, so No-Tail's got to know now.
Yeah, he knows. He keeps his own Sentry Ward up. So it's actually quite huge, because now if Resolution wants to buy himself a Sentry Ward, he's going to have to burn through his as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. So they both had tangos. If Resolution had managed to tango No-Tail Sentry first, it's a big victory for him.
But no
Something that's often
blocked him. Like he blocked him with the spiders, so Resolution couldn't get in range for the tango.
So yeah, I don't know this matchup. I don't know how does the Viper Brood matchup usually go? But I do think that if Viper can't see Brood, it's pretty good for the Brood actually. I mean I think that maybe they'll just both farm, but 10th time professional Dota that Brood has been run mid. Yeah, we actually saw that. I think CDC ran Brood mid at TI5, and it was a pretty big deal back then. I think it was against Wind Ranger when they beat EG. And it's been run here against the Viper, and so far so good. He's got way more last hits than Resolution's Viper, and this starts begging the question that you were talking about before, because sure, if Viper's farm's really good, that can help it. Charging No-Tail?
Yeah, they are. Resolution can't keep attacking though. There's too many spiders here. In fact, they can just turn around onto Aloha Dance, go for the semi-body block him with the shards as well as Snowfall. Spirit Breaker, he just can't walk away from this one. And because the spiders just keep their attack going on Resolution, he's also forced back. Can't inflict any level of damage into the Broodmother, and First Blood goes the way here of OG.
Okay, so I don't know, we've been talking about Aloha Dance's man of the series so far, but that, I just can't understand the motivation there. It's kind of like, I imagine Resolution saying, guys, I'm getting owned in this lane, help. And Aloha Dance is used to just, okay, I'll fix that. He's been doing that all series, but he just doesn't have the parts to do it.
Man, like, Spirit Breaker is one of these heroes for Empire where I'm happy to see it being picked up for them, because they love, like, it's always great to see them being aggressive. But it's also their albatross.
Dire's middle tower is under
You
attack.
flag a lot of the games from Resolution that were played 2 weeks ago. Especially the one where he battled, while being on Dire side, he battled on the Radiant Hill next to the secret shop. Charged up onto the hillside when there's already 2 heroes up there and just tried to man mode them. They get so overconfident with it. It's almost like watching IG. IG, when they play up against a bounty hunter, and you notice how their playstyle completely changes, where they're more defensive and more logical in their attacks. It's the same kind of thing with Empire, where they kind of throw logic out the window when they pick up the Spirit Breaker.
And it's exactly that kind of risk, and they could really, I mean, play into the hands of, we were saying OG's got Dazzle and Tusk to react really well to aggression. Spirit Breaker is the kind of problem that does that, and the first game of the series, they also had a Spirit Breaker, and the first big fight near the end that Empire lost was actually when Spirit Breaker overcommitted. Well,
Silent dead. Shards, Snowball, Shadow Wave, with all the filings that are there. In comes Aloha Dance to Ken Crit. He doesn't have a control factor on him, but with all these filings underneath the tower, it makes it very easy for No-Tail to keep that harassment up.
yeah, because Resolution has actually switched into that bot lane because he couldn't handle the brood lane, and they know how important it is to get him farm. As I was saying, their plan is to do well in lanes and then group up with the Viper's mech, and if he's not gonna have a fast mech, it's not gonna happen. And as you said, he can't like go back to flash farming the jungle, farming stacks or anything like that. But because they now need to make the space for Viper, that means that Silence has to be the one that's exposed in that mid lane, and he pays the price for it almost immediately.
He does. What's he meant to even do here? It's the same thing for the Night Stalker. We're in our first nighttime phase. We burnt through a minute of our first nighttime phase. And this Night Stalker has 1 CS. Like, he's not even using Void to farm in the lane. Miracle is 32 for 23. It's a wonderful CS score for an off-lane Sven to have, especially considering how much support he hasn't had. The Dazzle as well as the Tuskar have spent the last 2 to 3 minutes pressuring mid. So the Sven's still keeping this Night Stalker off the lane so heavily that he gets 1 CS and he's doing it all by himself.
If Resolution, I think that Moon might go down soon, as soon as Resolution hits 6, that bot lane, because Spirit Breaker's hiding there. And he's very close to 6 on Viper, and I think if they get the charge and Viper Strike, that's probably just a kill.
There goes that sentry in the mid. Talked about that one extra sentry ward that Hotel was able to keep up, and now he makes the run for the top.
Yeah,
room.
Moon's going down.
Master bottom. Yep. Spirit Breaker can actually snowball himself in. Doesn't get the perfect chance over on Resolution, but they still get what they came for. And the charge is back off cooldown for a low hard dance. He's going to charge himself up the river. Going through.
And this is the thing. I mean, I picked up on the fact that Viper wants to go for kill as soon as he gets 6 based on the way that he was playing, so obviously he can as well, right? So Moon's saying to his team, hey, this guy's gonna try kill me soon, just get ready. And they were ready. They go in, they get the return kill, it's more than worth it for them. And I do feel like the trajectory the game's on at the moment is really favorable for OG. I feel like deathball strategies don't work from behind. So at some point you gotta get in front if you're Empire.
You gotta find a way. You have to find a way somehow. They need to stop this Ven from farming. Can't allow him to be this big. The upside for Empire right now is the fact that Silent has this Observer Ward. They're seeing both crit as well as Moon Meander, waiting to try and have a crack at the mid. And it's just not happening. It's just not happening.
Miracle is doing something interesting up here. Is he just gonna draw? Yeah, I don't know. Thought he might try steal last hits.
For Aloha Death to die for the Dazzle and then realize, wait, I don't have Nether Strike and he's got Shallow Grave. No way you can go underneath the tier 1 tower with that. Fritz looking to snowball himself onto the bottom lane. Resolution. Down too far. He's actually dead now.
Oh, Miracle's dead top lane.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with the Resolution dying. It's still a good kill for the Night Stalker to grab up on top, but Resolution finds his buckle the recipe before death. The only thing he can do, Broodmother takes out the mid tower in the meantime. They trigger off the dust, which means really good money coming the way of Silent. With the flag cannon damage into those filings, they'll charge forward, fall down as well, and Notel out to limp himself out of this one. Wants to try and turn around, and needs to go inside the webs. Now he knows he's got the vision advantage. In fact, he's also got the kill advantage. The Rocket Barrage will come out. The Notel hiding inside the Impis. The shards will fly up, and a perfect lockdown control of the Gyro. Again having to back himself up, and the Insatiable Hunger arrives. That is going to be another kill. This one comes in for the Dazzle, however. But 6-2 on the board.
See, the dynamic here is so troubling for Empire because when your aggression is being countered by heroes like Tusk or Dazzle coming in and like saving people, graving people, turning things around, what you need to do is recognize your aggression could be working, but you have to be more careful in your execution. And usually what actually happens is the aggressive team gets even more and more frustrated. Like, oh, we nearly killed that guy, he got saved, and then it makes them even more aggressive and even less careful. And there's a potential for Empire to kind of like reverse snowball themselves to death. They're going for Moon at this bot lane. So far no response.
Well, the Dazzle, oh, okay. Hello, Bash. That's gonna cancel that TP out. If you had the Dazzle there, like Fly, it looks like his TP was on cooldown, that's the reason why it wasn't there. He would have TP'd in a heartbeat to save his teammate.
Yeah, definitely. If he could have, he would have.
But what do you do here? Like, I don't even care if he's got a 70 CS, like... I'm gonna say half of them, but... A majority of them is going to be
Dire's top tower is under
idlings.
attack. Radiant's
The
bottom
black cannon
tower
damage he was
is
doing in
under
the mid
attack.
lane previously. Coming into the top lane, looks like Lich is already down for the count. With the Warcry potential God Strength resolution, this isn't a guaranteed moment for him. And in fact, Fly, he can't shell a grave in time. He got silenced up by the Night Stalker. Sigil slowing resolution down enough as well that crit. They're looking for him to leave, and he's just, in fact, going to do that. TP's himself out. Miracle goes for the stun, but he will die on this top lane. They commit cooldown as well. A little bit of extra damage from the tower is, okay. Raw, Snowball, and Flow too deep. The Earn Charge will get the kill at the same time. Resolution, he makes the play. They're bringing in more support. The Spiderlings are down, and you're looking at Broodmother. He can get a guaranteed kill right now onto Aloha Dance. Just wants to attack into him so he can save the Spiderlings for later. Fly keeping himself alive by having the Shallow Grave. That last attack, however, is able to reach from Resolution, giving him this double kill. So he split the fight into two different areas. It is going to be Moon Meander dying to Resolution and giving him yet another kill. Notel has to come up for this one. He knows it. The 4 levels up in Spiderling. He needs a little bit more damage. The Croziskin's going to keep it out, and his Spiderling works against him. He was outside the web, allowing No Fear to get the kill with the Lich ulti. And now the kill count gets heavily repaired. The mech is arriving 11 minutes into the game. Team fight Snowball lineup of Empire can now function because of this fight.
So I'm pretty sure the score was 6-3 to OG before that. So that means that fight was actually 6-3 in the other direction for Empire. 6 kills, and I mean, honestly, I feel like it's a mistake that OG go for the original dive at the tower, because we talk about how the strength of their lineup is Dazzle and Tusk in those fights can just like react. Someone's being gone on, okay, we'll save them. But Dazzle and Tusk were behind enemy lines. Tusk had to run away, Dazzle had to use Grave on himself, he died anyway. Suddenly their teammates couldn't be protected by them. And I think if you put yourself in that position as OG, your entire strength of control in a fight is gone. If your supports are trying to protect themselves and can't protect, you know, the important heroes. So reminiscent of game 1, actually, I think, where early on there was well, not that early on, maybe a bit later than this. There was a big fight, and suddenly Empire were doing well, and I think we're in a similar position now.
Game 1 to go the way of OG. Empire took some unfavorable matchups in the later portion of the game. I'm actually feeling like Empire have to be a little bit more aware of what Miracle's about to be picking up. This Blink Dagger is now 100 gold away. Can sell his salve and just pick himself up a TP scroll and come to that top lane if the fight begins. Or OG get themselves a better initiation, and this is what it's going to be. The shards, nope. Silence actually able to run himself away in time. Observer ward's down, a bit of a miss ward there from OG. They actually committed 2 observer wards to that top River Hill.
Dire's bottom tower.
Well, considering how critical vision is in this game, that's a big blow.
Empire's Deathball looked like it might never be assembled after they just really didn't have a good lane stage. After that fight, the Deathball has begun, and it will be very interesting to see the reaction from OG. I think usually it's to split and try and trade objectives as much as you can, but there usually comes a point at which you need to face the Deathball.
Well,
and whether
I can understand that, but the shards can clean out most of the creep wave. You can slow it down enough that Notal can add pressure towards the mid. And Miracle can just trigger his God Strength if he needs to. Push into that tier 1 tower
charge. They're going deep for crits. I don't know.
Can't cancel. He's got Snowball. What are you going to do?
Yeah, the concern is you've got great heroes for deathballing in the sense of you group up, go for the tower. If they try to fight you, you can zone them, control them, even kill them. Don't have the fastest actual pushing heroes.
The weave just started from the dance, so at least there'll be a little bit of armor, but not enough to keep Moon Meander alive. The rest of OG just retreat back out again. This tower's just above deny range. But Empire so heavily on the TPs, but they're happy for it. Like, they want to be pushing out the bottom lane. They want to be able to find these towers directly after taking out one.
And they just really want to fight. They really want to fight. They don't want to be fighting against creeps. They don't want to be playing PvE. Empire's a PvP team, and I mean the reason they drop Deathball is not because they like pushing. It's because this is the kind of strategy that usually forces the enemy team to 5v5 you. So Empire will not be happy with OG going for trade-offs, and they'll want to rotate into fights if that's what it takes.
Do this, they might be forcing something which cannot be forced. The attack right now on a no-time at Miracle with a Blink Dagger. God Strength as well, silent. The Raw ensures the kill on him so they can move quickly into a Aloha Dance, expecting some kind of support coming in from Empire, but it is not coming. Empire, in fact, hold back, and while you still got this God strength up, they can beat into the tier 2 tower. You burn the fortification on the tier 1 tower on bottom lane, so there's nothing that can stop this push. That tier 2 tower is gone.
Tower has fallen.
Did you see No-Tail's choice of item?
The fact that you went for the Dagon, yeah.
Yep. And that's also telling, right? Because the most net worth in their team is on the Brood, and if he goes for purely split pushing, do my own thing build, there is a risk of his team losing out to the death ball because Miracle's a bit behind. I mean, he's not far behind, but he hasn't had that much space to farm. He's got the Blink Dagger, which helps him fight. It doesn't really increase his farm that much because he's not that good at farming the jungle. He has no points in cleave yet, none at all. So I think No-Tail intelligently buying an item that makes him a threat right now,
We got
so
one
he can
now.
do things right now.
Goodbye, Miracle. Blinks, hides in the tree line. He's salving up his resolution as well as no fear. They just walk straight past him. They'll realize the charge is coming. The Dire Observer and sentries are down, but Broodmother does up. That's how they got the fish over on him. It's a full hunger. No-Tail wants it all back again. Sven's on his way and gets a double stun onto the Spirit Breaker. Even the status from the neutrals is helping it out. The shard damage won't be able to arrive. Broodmother is down. They don't get the revenge kill onto Aloha Dance. The Observer and Sentry, no one's going to try and make a play there. And I was actually wondering with the Broodmother, why don't you go in for something more like the Necro Book? If you get that and you burn up the mana of the Viper, he can't use mech during the fight. He's only got a 572 mana pool. You could just burn everything off.
I guess. I mean, it's a pretty slow build-up though, and it's also slow damage over time. Whereas what they're hoping for is to be able to like make their own kills. There's really a lack of damage on OG if you look at it. We talked about control. Dazzle's control, Tusker's control, Beastmaster's control, but where's the damage coming from? We don't want to be in that situation if we're OG, that it's just the Sven. Remember game 1, I mean sure they won the game, but they had issues for days that all of their damage depended on Miracle, and they don't want all their damage to depend on Miracle, and so I think just going for straight up more damage is a good decision to make here.
And I should probably remember too that the Beastmaster is the man that's building into the Necro Book and not going for the early Blink Dagger 4 stuff, which I was kind of assuming Moon would be building into.
So they've got the one Necro anyway.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
They'll have enough to work with that, so it does make sense. The funny thing is, so like you talk about like the lack of damage over on this event. All it's gonna take is one good Storm Bolt with Warcry up, with God Strength up, and he kills off all of Empire. But this is like 20 minutes into the game. It's not now. So the Broodmother early Dagon gives them more to play with, and in fact you see them just running for this. The Shard can't get the block, but they get the Roar over on the Spirit Breaker. A very quick Dagon. He charges out, but he only has the Beastmaster. So he'll end up popping from that. With a Warcry OG, they're coming down the mid. I don't know if they're really intending to. Yeah, they're not. They pinged out the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane on Roshan. It's either one or the other.
Yeah, the concern really for me from Miracle is that he hadn't gone for a farming build. He only took his first points in cleave now. And I mean, he had a Blink Dagger as his first item, and so it didn't really kit him up to like, okay, fine, we'll sit back and farm a lot. Which, if he was doing that, it would be okay maybe to rely on him for all the damage, because Sven is a hero that could do that. I mean, I want to be clear, we've spoken a lot about the control factor for Dazzle and Tusk and how they'll sort of counter-initiate or save someone you're targeting and turn the fighter on. Where those things are not determining the fights, Empire are miles ahead in a 5v5. Empire have got a Viper with a mech that's difficult to deal with. They've got a Gyrocopter, they've got a Lich Chain Frost, they've got Night Stalker and Spirit Breaker for control. So where they're not being beaten by the Dazzle and Tusk, like turning things around, confusing things, I think Empire looked very, very good in a fight.
Maybe not in this position. They've just had their team split up by the Shards, and they got hit by a Weave. So everyone is losing armor. And they just want to back out. The Shards again fly up, just into flow. And No-Tail. Okay. That's some damage. That's some serious damage. But whoa! Aloha Dance cannot go up that hill.
Yeah. Completely agree. That, I mean, it's exactly reminiscent of game 1 because I feel like there was that key fight that Empire lost, charging around that exact same area of the map.
This time they dodge it. This time they
yeah, he actually turns around. Respect to Aloha Dance, because I think every player on Empire has that kind of instinct of like, just keep going. So when the control, the discipline is exercised, I think it's worth pointing out and respecting him for.
Tail's heading up to the top lane now. He's moving so far across the map that these webs aren't even helping him anymore. He has to plant them down every time he wants to go for a kill, and Resolution starts his TP. And what a time to do it. They 4-man smoke on the bottom lane. That TP took a little bit longer from Flow.
Dire's top tower is
And because they
under
just TP'd out, Resolution, if he wants to, he can force out the top tower. But he also realized that Empire is probably going for Roshan, so they're making their way down as quickly as they can. The Hawk
Miracle's
flies
split
over
off
to
from
give them
his
the extra vision. Lions gonna come in and now. Well, where's the smoke break? They get it, and they see the Spirit Breaker as quick as they can. They roar, they Dagon, the damage still isn't there. The next charge was able to kick off in time, and then allows Low Ardennes to charge himself for 27 lives. The Spirelings are brought down too, so they can't finish the job. You might be punching that Night Stalker up and running, but OG have already used their initial combination until Miracle gets a good Stormbolt off, catching him soon. Needs a little bit more help, and Notel's coming to provide that, throwing out these spawn Spirelings, but Miracle just doesn't have enough to survive this. He finds BKB before death, and Notel still just trying to fight them. He's got the insatiable hunger going to work, but he's going to back himself up for now. Not enough man to keep the fight going. Even with that Soul Ring, he can't just keep Dagon firing. Being quite an even trade, bringing it to 15-15. It was a 4-3 trade-off in the fight.
Yeah, it's a small win for Empire. I actually thought it could have been a bigger win, because Miracle was down in his own jungle when the fight broke out. He had to take a while to get there. And without him there, it's kind of like Beastmaster roars. Brood uses the spawn spidling and Dagon combo, burst someone down. But then immediately things turn around on you. The mech goes up, you need to use the grave straight away. And after that kind of initial, we've done all our things once, OG don't look that good. If they haven't already won the fight. Gyrocopter on the other hand, Viper on the other hand, these are the kinds of heroes, Night Stalker as well. They're the kinds of heroes that are happy to go into the second and third and fourth round of trading blows.
Okay, so right now I'm looking at Broodmother. Where does he go after he finishes up Dagon level 5? Do you turn this into a split push game? Do you look for your BTs? Do you think maybe I have to give aura to the rest of my team? Maybe just complete a casual Vlad and then something else bigger after that? Is it the BKBs that we've seen Sven going into? I know there's a lot of options. Do you even get a little cheekier and think, I can actually go an E-Blade up against this Viper?
Yeah, I actually think the E-Blade might be the most natural build when you've already invested that much into the Dagon. To be able to just... I mean, it goes with the damage theme, and to be able to burst someone down. He's being charged and again cancelled by lower dance, but gets 2 CP responses, so victory for Spirit Breaker there, definitely.
He loses a hero. Resolution just starts to Viper Strike. Broodmother's going to get Shello graved up right now. As well as the burst heals, she's just trying to TP back out. The Raw, the Lich only can use the TP, allowing the kill on the Notel. The Lich only will bounce back in the Spirelings, so a lot of it's being lost. And now Miracle, looking for the cleave damage. He's able to bring down the Night Stalker. The Spirelings are still doing the work with the snowball help. They're able to get through the Spirit Breaker as well. And the shards, it locks in silence. He'll turn and fight, but the cooldown is only killing off Negrius. In fact, that actually hurts himself more than it helped him. With the Stormbolt to fly in, Miracle, he's in too deep. He couldn't pull out in time. It'll be a 2-on-2 trade, or 2-4-2 trade. Going 17-17 on the board. Raw's being committed and Resolution just wants to go to work here. Beating into Moon Meander. And that's a big kill as well. Empire will take out the tier 1 tower. 3 heroes for the price of 2. Putting that gem to good work.
I really think a weakness in OG's picks is highlighting itself here, because over and over what we're seeing is that OG has something very impressive once. They've got the Raw, they've got the Necro Summon. Sven reveals his BKB and we're like, wow, look at the effect of that. But as the fight draws on, Gyrocopter's got over and over Rocket Barrage coming through. Viper's always going to have those poison attacks. Night Stalker's got endless voids. I just think that those protracted fights really favor Empire, and so OG needs to be a lot more careful about when they take initiations, which initiations they take, which heroes they need to kill so that they can like continue to have an extended fight.
I agree. Patience is the key. Right now, Leah is trying to take out Roshan. We've already
Miracle's really far.
But Roshan's already too low. They can't get there in time. And they're not going to fight into a Gyrocopter with an Aegis Immortal, even if they do have an early weave.
And now the situation just gets worse for them, because it's already very difficult to see OG focusing Viper down. Gyrocopter's got Aegis, so you can't focus him down. So if you take a team fight, you are by definition taking one of those fights, where Gyro and Viper are going to be in the fight for a long time, get to use their spells and abilities and attacks many times. And I mean, the impact that Miracle had in that mid-fight was also dependent on the fact that there was nothing to control him. Spirit Break and Viper both already ultied. His BKB doesn't have to be such a big deal if they've got their ultis up to counter him when he uses the BKB. So, I guess echoing where we started right at the beginning from the draft in this game, advantage Empire. I think Empire looking very, very strong, and it's time for OG to, you know, prove themselves. Stay in this game, catch up, get some more items on Miracle to the point where they can blast everyone down at the start of the fights.
It's so crazy to think though what would have happened if Empire didn't take that really great fight against OG on top lane. Like if that didn't happen, this Empire lineup wouldn't be looking anywhere near as strong as it was, and that's the reason why we were both concerned about Empire's draft early on, because it required them winning against OG early on. They didn't do that, but they found ways to kick back. Stuns, Raw, all too late. Lich is actually able to TP out underneath their noses. The Beastmaster unable to get there in time.
I couldn't agree more with you. If Empire end up winning this game, OG will know that they gifted it to them, because they'll know that Empire had a lineup that wanted to get a lot out of lanes, that Empire weren't getting a lot out of lanes, and that they essentially gave them really big fights, which kind of made it as if they had gotten a lot out of lanes.
Balance around. Balance is still going the way of Empire, 2,000 in the gold, but it's the experience which is almost 10,000 in favor of Empire. With the Aghanim Scepter kicking in for Team Empire, now they've got the vision to ensure their team fights are a lot stronger. Funny thing is though, for the Night Stalker, he actually didn't reduce his ulti cooldown by 40 seconds. He only got that darkness at level 1 right now.
That's I think that's just a mistake. I mean, we could look at the numbers involved in leveling up your Crippling Fear, we can like try and make the arguments, but I generally just think it's a mistake. Like, you would always want to level up your darkness. It's like that significant. I mean, you bought an Aghanim Scepter. You're invested in that ulti. But yeah, the Aegis didn't convert directly into a whole lot of activity. We're now seeing some towers being taken down. What it converted into was safe completion of big items. So the BKB is about to be finished on Silent. We saw the Ags on Night Stalker. Resolution's Viper is very close to his Ags as well. Spirit Breaker finished his Shadow Blade. And these are items that are going to make their death wall that much more difficult to deal with.
Dodging. Shadow Breaker's on the way, he's managed to find No-Tell. If he can complete this, however, he's going to die. Like, the TP out is also going to succeed. He Shadow Bladed himself in to get the charge off, and then just pulled out of it at the last moment.
It's kind of funny because I think that if he had finished the charge, stopped the TP, there's actually too many OG people there and he might have ended up dying. I mean, his team wasn't that close, so maybe good for him that he didn't cancel the TP.
But he also wouldn't have been there in time because No-Tell wasn't going to TP out at that point. It was only once he realized the Spirit Breaker was on top of him that he actually did the TP bait. It is going to be the E-Blade as well for the Broodmother.
Yeah, it's the most effective way for him to build into damage at this point after he's invested in the Dagon. But it still feeds into that kind of like... I mean, you got a Dagon 5, it's the lowest cooldown it can be at, it's 15-second cooldown. So he's going to deal a lot of damage every 15 seconds. And in between those instances of damage, he's going to be doing almost nothing. And the damage is all going to be coming from Sven. And
OG needed to delay this fight. They got 50 seconds until that Aegis, the Immortal, is going to expire. Okay, yeah, nice knowing you. Let's get off this field. Battle. Viper being stunned up. The shards, the cooldowns coming up from Silent. Remember, they've still got that Aegis, the Immortal. Snowball protection. They're going up towards Resolution to find that kill. The Dagon attacks once again, so it's a 2-for-1 trade-off. Miracle will also end up going down. But Broodmother, he's ready to go in 8 seconds time for another attack. In fact, being charged back. As long as he can stay alive, he can find himself a kill, but they've got that gem, making it difficult. 1 second is how long he required to get that Dagon off. He would have killed off Silent, as well as taken out that Spirit Breaker with the Spiderlings, but they lose the Broodmother, the tier 2 tower drops, and Silent and Flow remain alive.
And you can hardly question the decision making. Lich is already dead. They focus the Viper because Jara has Aegis, but it just takes too long to kill him. It takes too much commitment, and they end up losing the fight. The Gyrocopter walks all over them. I did notice at some point Aloha Dance kind of like demanded a bash. That's how they dealt with Miracle in BKB. It was just like, Spirit Breaker's gonna walk up to you and just like declare, now is the time to bash you. Your BKB does nothing. But I mean, I don't want to overemphasize that because I do think that it's every match to be every bit to be expected that Empire will be winning these fights.
But maybe OG should be very happy with what they're able to achieve, considering what could have been the case.
I mean, imagine Lich was there. I mean, Lich doesn't have to die. I think the next time Empire push, Lich is going to just stand further back, try and avoid Broodmother being able to like pick him off before the fight even starts.
That shouldn't even happen, because you should have the Night Stalker closer to the front lines, but this Brood, like, Notel still got a couple of kills during that fight, so his money's kicking up. If it is going to be an E-Blade, is an E-Blade Dagon enough to kill off a Night Stalker, whose only real strength items is the Urn as well as the Aghanim Scepter?
I don't think it will be. I'm not sure though.
To get through 1900, so you have Spawn Spiderlings, Dagon, E-Blade.
I think it'll be pretty close, but I don't see the E-Blade itself dealing that much damage, mostly just doing the amp effect. I don't know. Maybe Card can do some maths for us quickly.
Maybe. Get through 1900 on that Night Stalker. Because if they can do that, then OG have their vision back again. Well, not back, but at least more of an advantage over Team Empire. The Shard block is doing a good job, but that Spirit Breaker charging in
They've
from
seen the
side.
charge.
Fly is the man that's coming in. Do they have a
pinged it up.
control on him, however? No, they don't. Not with the Shadow Blade that's down. Then Fly, he has to telegraph himself up. The Mech Charge will come off. They jump in, Resolution. He's the man that's being nailed. This time they're a lot quicker on it, but they still have to deal with Silence. The Snowball buying that extra space, that extra time, but all it did was actually allow this Night Stalker to get the boy kill off. The Lich only will do his work, and they fly and crit the tree line. This could actually be the game right now, with Broodmother flying back. If this is a dieback, there's no Nether Strike, but there's a charge for 1 second. They still have the vision. There's a charge forward, and there it is. It's a dieback and a triple kill for Silence. As Team Empire take the fight, and now they can take the tier 2 tower to boot. That's all.
And there's a very subtle difference between Allure Dance's like kind of YOLO style initiation there and the ones we've criticized, because even though he's ahead of his team, even though he's going into 5, he recognizes we can kill Dazzle without Dazzle casting any spells, and that's actually worth it. Like even if Allure Dance had gone down, combined with the Night Stalker coming in using the silence, Dazzle died without casting any spells, and Dazzle's the way that OG can win fights, you know, by protecting an important hero at an important time.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
Take mid-racks.
Radiant's top
OG
tower is under attack.
kind of do or die for them, but they don't have a Roar up available. There's no Necro books up. The defense still on the sidelines for now, and that Charek up just got more damage. He already did more damage
Radiant's top
than all of
barracks
OG combined during the last fight. And they gave him Monkey King buff. So Empire,
Yeah,
they are going to fall back.
Game is starting to look pretty one-sided. The script is starting to suit Empire completely. It's as if, I mean, it's absurd to recall that the lane stage went very badly for Empire in this game. Because if you looked at the gold graph, if you looked at where the game is now, without having watched the game, you'd assume, okay, Empire just dominated the lanes, Viper wins its lane, Lich wins another lane, Gyrocopter wins another lane. Okay, they won all the lanes, they started deathballing. That's not actually what happened. We have to keep reminding ourselves that, well, OG did really well at the start. They allowed Empire to slip back into the game, and now Empire have got them by the throat.
Yep. And all they gotta do is just be patient. It's a best of 3, so whoever wins this one goes directly into that best of 5 grand final. Just a reminder as well, OG will be playing both their series tonight. So if they do lose this, they'll go up against Golden Boys in the third place matchup. And if they win this game somehow, well, 1, we have ourselves an epic comeback, and 2, they will be going up against Team Liquid tonight. So we'll only have we'll have another best of 5 series directly after this game. So definitely do not turn your streams off at the conclusion of this match. There will be more to come. And now OG, this is their moment. If anything's going to happen, this is going to be it. They jump forward. Crick goes for the charge. Resolution again. Wants to be that tank with the Lich ulti. Isolated up here. It's huge damage coming into OG. They've lost 3 heroes already. No fear might pop, but you're going to lose Miracle as well down the river. That was the last roll of the dice. And it will be, in fact, Team Empire going up against Team Liquid in the grand final of the D2CL Season 6. We'll be looking at OG battling for the 3rd place against Golden Boys. After what is going to be a 15-minute break, we'll come back for that full best of 5 right here on the ESL Dota live stream.
OG had not lost a series for the last like 2.5 weeks, playing series every single day. The last time they lost was also against Empire.